Hi, I'm Natalie Ledwell, and this is the Inspiration Show. Today, my special guest is Heather Smith, and Heather does some incredible paintings called vision paintings that we're going to find out a little bit about in a moment. So, hi, Heather. How are you today?
I'm really well. Thank you for asking. So excited to be here.
Yeah, I can see that we have one of your vision paintings behind you, which we'll get into in a minute. But what we might start off with first is your background, your story, and how you got into doing these amazing paintings.
Well, I've been an artist my whole life, always been creating, and I did go to art school. I do have a BFA in painting and fine art. I've been out of college, out of art school for about, I guess, 7 years. And literally outside of art school, I just kind of stopped. And I was really unhealthy. I was in a not so great relationship. I was beating myself down. I was just really fearful about like going out into the world and like sharing my gift and just trusting that people would receive it. And it was almost like that idea of just that trusting that I was good enough was just too much. So I just stopped, and I really just didn't even create. Outside of art school, I moved from Colorado and with my husband, and I moved to California, and I've been waiting tables for the past 6 years. And then a year ago, my marriage fell apart, and I woke up from my 6-year dreamland of not being very happy. And this is like such the anthem that I hear just women are just telling the same story. So it's almost funny to hear me say it. But I was overweight, unhealthy, like seriously depressed. Like I would only get out of bed to like go to work, to wait tables, which made my heart black. And I had a friend reach out to me. She's a nutritionist, and offer me some help and some guidelines like with my health. And that was last October. And that really was the jumping point for me, because I took her hand, which normally, taking help from somebody is, not something that I'm used to doing. And this one time I just decided to do it, and I haven't looked back. And within that, I've totally rediscovered my creativity and my art, and it's just totally coming from this like deep, authentic place within inside of myself. Within that, I'm now separated from my husband. I'm living an independent life. I've completely quit waitressing. I've been actually out of a job for the past 2 months to pursue this vision painting business that I've began, and it's completely terrifying and so beautiful in the most like fulfilling way, because I know that this is a service that I have to offer the world. And so the vision painting is just coming around by me accessing my creativity and my ability to just connect with people and really being around people and seeing who they are, because I had the chance to get to see who I was. So now I have this tool to like pass on to other people and really get to know them, see who they are, represent like their hopes and their dreams like on a painting that they can live with every day and be inspired, and I don't know, just not ever get stuck and ever feel like you lose anything, or that you don't have that ability that you once had, and that you can always access it, that it's always there. So I'm really just in the beginning of my like life's mission, and I'm just super like excited and passionate right now. So.
Yeah, your story is, I think, is a story that I have heard so many times lately. And as women, I talk about how I feel like there's this mass awakening on the planet. I see it happening faster with women. And that's, I'm not saying that men aren't having the awakening either, but this is just what I'm experiencing personally, probably because I'm exactly that. I mean, what you just described was what happened to me a year ago. My husband and I separated. I felt like I'd put on weight. I was numbing myself out. I felt like I was living life on the surface. Like I wasn't having any kind of deep connection or anything, because I just wasn't happy, but I didn't know what it was. And then when I stepped into like a single life, it was like I had this independence, and I've spent a year really working on me, getting to know who I am, because who we are is not this body that we walk around in. It's not the car that we drive. It's not the house that we live in. It's not even our accomplishments. you know, who we are is really this soul inside of us, you know, having this human experience. And the more I can have that connection with that and connect with that, to that with other human beings, it's just made life this enriching, amazing experience. And of course, you know, you also talk about the vulnerability and asking for support. I mean, how hard is it for you to ask for support because, you know, you feel like you've got to have everything together?
Yeah, I think that's such like a key point in like today's society, especially for women, is, you know, we've got to hold the careers, we've got to be the mothers, we've got to be the caretakers. It's like we have all of these responsibilities that I don't know who, but somebody has like put them in our laps, and we've taken on that responsibility. And what we're missing is the responsibility of that. Underneath that is that we have to take care of ourselves first, and be there for ourselves for all of these other things to like fall into place. And when you're totally disconnected from that like inner core work, and you're doing all the other surfacey things, like you're saying, like life is just not fulfilling, it's not enriching. You're in a very unhealthy space physically and emotionally, and but it's all fake. That's what's so exciting. It's, you know, it's just to like be so aware right now in this space that I am, to know that all of that can just be shifted by just like the way that you choose to think or the way that you choose to feel about yourself. And I guess it's really like my mission is just, you know, to just keep poking people and being like, you know, that you have a choice. And God, it's such a little thing to just tell somebody, just be who you are. It's so small, but holy moly, it's just like the biggest, greatest gift that anyone's ever given me. And I want to just shout it off the mountaintop, honestly. Like, you're so beautiful, you're so fulfilled by just who you are. Like, that's so empowering. Especially for women. It's totally just, I'm totally right there with you. It's funny that our timeline is so similar with the husband.
I know, isn't that crazy? And I'm assuming there's quite a few years of age between us as well, so it doesn't matter. Like, I've been talking to women in their 50s and 60s, and I've also been talking to younger women like yourself that are all, you know, going through the same thing. It's like we have this longing, like we know there's something else, but we're not quite sure what it is, and to really step into what you feel passionate about and to live a life on purpose where you feel like you're making a contribution, man, that is what life is all about. It's just like, So tell me a little bit about your vision paintings, because, I mean, you have really taken a big leap here, like, you know, to be able to relinquish your job and then to step into something that you feel so passionate about. You know, that takes a lot of courage. So tell me about that transition.
I started the transition a little, like I was like just tiptoeing like in the water. Like I just would cut down my shifts. I was a waitress. And then eventually one day I just gave my notice, and I was like, you know what? I believe in this so much that I'm just going to be terrified and just jump off the cliff. And it's been 2 months now. And it's still scary. Like, I still don't know, you know, like no one knows what the future holds. Like, but it's just, I guess I'm just trying to prove to myself how much I want it and how much I trust in what I'm doing, and like that I believe it's such a service. And the paintings themselves are just helping the people that I'm doing them for so much that it's just continuing like that passion in me to like that I feel like this is like a real service. So basically, I just if people are interested, and you know, I know like I have a certain style and it's very specific and personal, but I just have this way of melding like who you are like in a visual language, and it's just very impressionistic and very emotional. And it started out very like specific, like, oh, I want to live in a house on a beach, I want to be married, I want, you know, this car, whatever. And just like vision boards, you know, when you're cutting out the magazines, and you know, we've all done that, your beautiful videos that you do. And it's really progressed into this whole different thing, actually. Instead of just actually painting like a picture of somebody's house or whatever, it's now involving who these people are like right now. Because the more like I get to know them and talk to them, I'm realizing, dude, you already are like everything that you want to be and that you're dreaming and hoping to be. Like, I can just see it because you're just in a different perspective than I am. And so now I'm getting to paint that, like, and layer it with all of these kind of, you know, symbols and things like that. And I have a gentleman, a client, and he's meditating 4 hours a day right now in front of his painting. He's on a 60-day, 4-hour meditation challenge, and he sits in front of his painting 4 hours a day, and it's just such an amazing like thing for me to like know that. And yeah, and I just keep on forever.
Tell me a little bit about the process, because it's not as if you ask people what they want and then you just paint it. You have like a full process where you really get to know who that person is, and to then be able to create the paintings that you do.
Yeah, so I have an awesome questionnaire that's it's just kind of based off of like certain meditations or just visualizations that I've done, and you know, just like, do you remember like what used to be when you were little? If you can recall like symbols that are meaningful to you, or pictures, or colors, or words. I have a little thing where it's like, do you can you like picture yourself when you're 100 years old? And like, where do you live? What does your house look like? What are the pictures on the wall? What are the books on your bookshelves? Did you write the books? What are they about? Like that kind of a thing. And then I also meet with people, or I can Skype with them or talk to them on the phone. And it's really, really simple. It's just, I'm just a connector, and I'm just your friend, and I just kind of get to know you, and I really just, I'm just there. I'm just there. I'm just a space for these people, and it honestly just comes through me in such an authentic, like, natural way. And then they get to kind of play with me, you know, like if they need a specific image or a specific color or whatever, I'm so like flexible in like what I do, and that keeps it really fun too. So that's really important as well.
Yeah.
It's just
So I think what you're saying here is that they're getting back in contact with their dreams and who they truly are, and then what you're doing, your interpretation is actually coming through you. So it's not specifically, I mean, obviously that, you know, you have talent and so forth, but what's getting channeled through you is what's coming out in the paintings. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly, yeah. It's kind of just like when you're talking like with your best friend, and they can always just see so much more of you than you can see, you know, see yourself. Like, isn't that just true with everyone? Like, you can, like, your parents can see so much potential, and they see the world in your eyes. And I just feel like, you know, that's just the case for just humans in general. We are just like mirrors for each other, and sometimes you just need to look in the mirror, and I'm totally just happy and willing to be a mirror for anyone and just, you know, poke you. You are so everything that you need to be, and here, like, I can actually like represent this for you, you know, in a visual way, so that you can look at it every day and just be reminded. And it just makes me super happy.
Exactly. So tell me about, I know we've got one gentleman who's meditating for 4 hours in front of his painting, but tell me about some of the other clients and some of the, you know, the feedback that they've given you about, you know, what your paintings have meant to them.
I have another gentleman. I had an amazing afternoon with him, and I actually didn't know him until we met at the Bay, in Mission Bay. I live in San Diego one day, and I had my dog, and we just went on a little walk, and he taught me how to skip stones, and he was just telling me these like amazing stories from his past. And this was kind of like when my paintings really shifted into like, okay, you already are this person. He's just telling me about all these amazing experiences and these cool things that happened to him with nature, and it was just like super inspired by him. But then when he tells his story and attaches the story of like what he is and who he is in life, he's a cable guy, you know, he lives in this small house, he doesn't make a lot of money, he's really unhealthy, having some drug and alcohol problems and all that stuff. I got to take all that with me, and you know, as you were saying, like, just let the painting come through me. And then when I gave it to him, and he was just absolutely speechless. They have the tiniest little house with 8 cats, and they hung it on the hallway outside of the bathroom. So every time he comes out of the bathroom, the painting, and they're huge, they're 36 by 48. So there's this giant painting that's totally just overtaking their whole house, and he just stands in front of it and walks by it every day. It's been about 3 months, and he is now goes to AA every day. He takes a walk outside on the beach every day. He's really into frisbee golf. He's just getting outside all the time. He's learning how to paddleboard. Like, his life is literally just becoming what he already was, which is just so funny. It's not even a matter of changing. It's just like realizing, oh, that's just who I am. And then your life just like falls into place. And I'm still like can't even really believe that like the painting is like doing that for him. But
Yeah.
he swears.
It's like I did an interview with Panache Desai a little while ago, and I said, it's like I'm stepping into Nat 2.0, or, and he goes, no, no, no. He goes, you're remembering who you really are, and I think that's what your paintings do. It reminds people of who they really are, and for him to be able to be reminded of that every time he looks at that painting, and then to step into the best version of himself. I'm thinking that is the true purpose of your paintings. They're amazing.
I like hearing you say it. That's awesome.
Well, Heather, we've run out of time, and I want to just thank you so much for your time today. So, if people want to get in contact with you and talk to you further about maybe having a painting done themselves, where can we send them?
My website is yourvisionpaintings.com, and there's also a link on my website to my Facebook page, which I'm on really like maybe a little too much, but you can always reach me there or email me through my website. And I would love to paint everyone a painting, so please contact me.
Absolutely, and I've seen quite a few of Heather's paintings, and they're just incredible. So thanks again for your time, Heather. It's been an awesome pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Great. Now, guys, I encourage you to share this video. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Also, make sure you download the app so you can watch the shows on the go. And make sure that you put your email in the box on the page here so I can send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. It's actually valued at $87, and I would love to send it to you for free. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.